Hey everybody, it's Clayton coming back with a new video. It's been about 2 weeks since I posted my last video update on my portfolio. Sorry about that. There's been a lot going on just personally that I've been trying to take care of. But I really want to make this video to focus on one main topic and one main company that I have purchased recently. I've been monitoring them for a while, but I really wanted to introduce them to you guys. Some of you may already have them in your portfolio, may know of them, but there's somebody I really like, and that's Honeywell. And I'm going to really go into detail for anyone that doesn't know who they are, what they do, what they offer, and kind of along those lines. But to start, as I do with every video, let's go into my portfolio. We're down 425. The market's down again today. Nothing crazy. Let's see the activity. I'll show you guys my most recent purchase. We got $15 into 3M, 25 in AT&T, 113 into Honeywell, and another $6 into Verizon. Nothing crazy there. So what I really wanted to focus on was going to be Honeywell. But while I'm recording this video right now, it's Wednesday at around 1:30. The Dow's had a little bit of a fall today. For those of you that know why, the Backstreet Boys are back, as I've addressed in another video. I live here in Florida, so I know that's become news recently as to what's going on here in our state. As well as others around the country, Texas, Arizona. There's actually a lot of them happening. And it's unfortunate this is the case. Obviously, there's a lot more going on with this. There's also the trade deal going on with China, and there's more situations aside from just the Backstreet Boys. And if you don't know what I mean when I say the Backstreet Boys, go to a previous video. There's a specific term that if we use, YouTube doesn't promote us very well. So I've turned to using Backstreet Boys. I've heard it a few times on this platform, and I really like it, especially now that the Backstreet's back. And it's not all right. If you enjoy my content, I do want to say thank you. If you don't mind dropping a like and a comment below, it really helps the channel grow. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. Obviously, you don't have to. I post videos usually weekly, sometimes twice a week. Again, as I said earlier, I had the delay just due to some personal problems. But now, the purpose of this video is I really want to jump into Honeywell. And for those of you who don't know what it is, I actually have 3 videos throughout this that I really want to pull up and show you guys that kind of explain why I like them, what they do. I'm going to show you their company website. Obviously, I'm going to show you, as I always do, the numbers on Seeking Alpha and all the above. So let me just let the video speak for itself and let it start, and they'll address exactly who they are if you don't know who they are.
The world's changing. Automation's growing. Productivity's soaring. Innovation's accelerating. At Honeywell, it's a familiar story. Because we've always adapted to be changing the way the world works. Developing more efficient processes, devices, and systems for vital industries. Today is no different. We're leading the charge as industry undertakes digital transformation. Developing software, services, and the digital solutions that set the pace for an ever-changing world. Now we detect toxic gas by listening for it. Build predictive analytics that maintain jets while they fly. Streamline e-commerce with artificial intelligence. Connect and transform massive buildings with advanced software. Safeguard critical infrastructure with intuitive cybersecurity. And create experts in field repairs through augmented reality. Honeywell continually promotes its culture of creativity, speed, and agility. To be ready for anything. To change everything. To change the way the whole world works.
So yeah, in a really wrapped up short nutshell, that's what Honeywell does. They've kind of got their hand in a bunch of different pots, but it's all future focused. As you can see on the screen right now, I've got on their website, it shows just some of the industries that they're in: aerospace, building and cities, chemicals and its materials, industrial manufacturing, retail, safety, sporting goods, supply chain, you name it, they're pretty much in it. They were one of the big producers, and they still are, of the N95 masks during the Backstreet Boys. One example of something that they did that I was reading about about a year ago was in Mexico. There is this plant that drills for a gas that's very explosive. And essentially they have the employee, as they're working on this machine, and they do it in other aspects as well, but they essentially wear a camera that is visible to someone that is sitting in a control room, and they can see directly at basically the same eye level that the employee is at. And they have the ability to pull up manuals, directions, instructions, anything that the employee may have or be stuck with their questions, especially in such a risky situation. They've got somebody at their fingertips working with them that sees what they're doing and can help to eventually provide to potentially provide the ability to save somebody's life or to eliminate risk. And that's just one of the many, many things they do. So yeah, with the future growing very quickly and what we've seen and what's coming, Honeywell is one that I really wanted to get in on. I'm far from the ground floor. They've been around for a long time. But I've just been watching them recently. I've been looking at their numbers and kind of what they've been doing, especially how they've been working through this Backstreet Boys situation. It's something I really liked. So let's dive into the numbers like I always like to do. Let's go to Seeking Alpha, pull up their information. So right now they're down about 4% today. So they had a little bit of a drop actually with the stock market. Not surprised, seems like everybody is. But as we can see, with their dividend yields are sitting at 2.49. As I said before, that's a little bit low for my likings. I usually try to go above 3. But for something like Honeywell, I think this is going to be a company that is going to be a very, very long-term, basically set it and forget it company. I'm going to obviously monitor them, but I don't think it's somebody that I'm going to need to watch very much. I'm just going to kind of invest in them, dollar cost average, as I always do, as I've gone over in every video essentially, and just watch my money grow with them, because I think they are going to be ahead of the game. They're already starting to introduce a lot of new technology that's being taken by many companies and being used. And they actually just had an acquisition of SAP, which I'm going to go over in a little bit, that I think also will streamline and boost them to, I wouldn't say the front of the line, but they're going to be competing with the Microsofts and Googles of the world, in my opinion. Again, I'm no financial advisor. This is just, you can do all this research, and I advise you do all this research on your own before you do any form of investing in any companies. But I'm explaining to you why I truly like Honeywell. So as we talked about, the 2.49 dividend yield, the annual payout's $3.60. Their payout ratio is relatively low. It's only 51%. It's not drastically low. Obviously, anything in like the 40s or 30s would be nice, but 50 doesn't worry me at all. They have a 5-year growth rate of 13%. And since 2004, they've been growing their dividends year after year. So let's just go look at their dividend growth. And you can see over the last just 16, they're even projected is 11%. But look, every year, essentially since 2008, they've been jumping up. You had 2009, 2010 were stagnant. And then ever since then was a consistent growth of their dividends by quite a large amount every year. And I feel personally that this is a company that I can't see falling anytime soon. It's going to be very hard. Yes, today we're down $5. So what? It doesn't affect the overall viewpoint I have of this stock as a dividend stock. And actually at this price, to me, it's a great buy-in. The stocks will likely, you know what, I'll take that back. Stocks may drop more. Obviously, nobody really knows, as we've gone over in past videos, what's really going to happen. But Honeywell's one, if you're interested in getting into the technology aspect of investing, look at them. They're really, honestly, they're essentially like a 3M. They have so many products in so many different fields and industries that I can't see them going away. Like I said, with the N95 mask, they've got thermostats that they've done. They work with airplanes, a lot of parts on airplanes. They work with the space shuttle. They've got government contracts when it comes to, and it's really a positive to see when someone's got a government contract, because as we've seen recently, the government can essentially make as much money as they please. So having a government contract helps them out a lot. But I want to show you another video that again demonstrates what they're planning for the future, because they really go into what their staff is working on now for the future. You saw what they did in the future in the previous video on what they're implementing now and how it's helping people and what they're using today. But there's also another video that I really want to show you that focuses on what they're planning, what they're doing for the future, and what they're working on. So let me pull that up real fast.
I'm making plans for takeoff before planes even land.
I'm helping make jet fuel from mustard seeds.
I'm making aerosols 99.9% safer for the planet.
I'm working on precision airflow control systems that ensure reliable room pressurization and directional airflow, controlling airborne pathogens and providing better infection control.
I'm helping protect critical infrastructure from cyber attacks.
I'm turning warehouses into symphonies.
I made pilots see mountains through the fog.
Estoy produciendo equipo de protección que mantiene héroes a salvo.
I'm making it possible to breathe on Mars.
I'm making brains
for ears.
I'm making concert halls perform.
I'm working on flying taxis.
I'm making a digital twin of this analog factory.
Seriously, flying taxis.
At Honeywell.
At Honeywell.
At Honeywell,
We make a lot of incredible things.
But mostly,
We make the future.
So yeah, that kind of brings in and explains exactly what I was talking about when it comes to the future thinking. Obviously there's some ideas on there that who knows what they'll be. The flying taxi thing, I don't think we'll ever bring in a third dimension when it comes to flight, or to driving, but who knows. But my point is, they're working throughout the industry, throughout their company, to create products to revolutionize and change the world. So this is somebody that I really like to get behind. I've seen what they've done the last decade or so. And going further, or going to the future, I really want to hold them. And another thing that I wanted to kind of touch on, and I mentioned it earlier, it was last week, or maybe a week and a half ago now. They became a partnership. They essentially bought out SAP. And for those of you who don't know what SAP is, I'm assuming most of you do, but if you don't, that's fine. Basically, SAP is the market leader when it comes to enterprise application softwares. They work with small companies, large companies, it doesn't matter. You can see on the screen where it says 77% of the world's transaction revenue touches an SAP system. Yes, 77%. So essentially Honeywell just got involved and just essentially bought out, or now is partnered with, a company that 77%, I don't know why that word's hard to say, of revenue touches their systems. And they're systems that are just meant to help really benefit the business when it comes to what works for them, what software is best for them, how to implement that software, how to work with customers, how to reach customers, how to bring customers back. An easiest way to explain them is, if you think of like a loyalty program at like a Home Depot or a Lowe's, I don't know if Lowe's even has one, but essentially one where they have you sign up and you gain points. The purpose of that isn't just to give you free stuff and to keep you, it is to bring you back, but it's also to learn information about the consumer, and they can target you as the consumer to grow and to sell more products to you. As someone that used to work in the retail industry, I know all about that aspect of it. So the acquisition of SAP to me is gigantic. And I actually want to let the CEO talk about it. It's a partnership, not an acquisition. Let me make sure I put that out there cleanly. But it's a very large partnership. And there's one more video I want to show you from the perspective of the Honeywell CEO, and he talks about this specifically. But I'll let him do the talking.
Darius, you've got a big announcement to share this morning about a partnership with one of the top players in the cloud, and something you are working on again to try and stop the spread of coronavirus. Why don't you tell us about that?
Good morning, Becky. Nice to see you again. Nice to be with you. Today is a very exciting day for us. We're going to be announcing a partnership with SAP. It's a natural partnership with their expertise in the ERP space and the IT space, and our expertise in the OT space. It's kind of a natural marriage, natural partnership. And the focus is going to be a cloud-based solutions based on our Forge platform and their SAP platform for our connected buildings offering. We think that this is an exciting day for building owners, building operators, as we're going to be bringing substantial energy savings. We're going to be bringing a better occupant experience. And I think what's really most important, especially in these times, is we're going to be bringing employees back to a much safer environment. Initially when
Backstreet Boys,
we responded very quickly and effectively to make sure that we bring the solutions that were needed, whether it's N95 masks or sensors for ventilators or hand sanitizers, where we converted two of our plants to make hand sanitizer. What we're focusing our energy on now is, how does the world operate in this quasi state between a full medical solution and then fully working from home? And part of that solution is going to be our healthier buildings offering, which is going to offer improved air circulation, cleaner air through the use of UV lights. Some of our AI technologies are going to make sure that people are social distancing. Some of our Rebellion cameras not only will measure temperatures on people entering the building, but even through the use of AI, make sure that they're actually wearing PPE in a proper way. So we think that this is going to be a great solution for people to transition back to the offices.
So essentially, that's wrapping up why I really like Honeywell. Like I said, I recommend you guys do your own research about this. I wanted to introduce them to you if you didn't know. I guess most people that I've spoken to do know who they are, but I also know a few that didn't. And as you can see with what's going on, they've jumped on top of this and they're trying to improve it as quickly as possible with the abilities that they have. You've seen through the future proofing that they're looking to do. So it's really a stock that I really want to get behind and I like and I back. Again, I'm no financial advisor. I've said this 50,000 times, but I'll say it again. But for anyone that's still at the end of this video, I want to thank you guys for making it this far. I really do appreciate it. I would love if you could drop a like and a comment down below. It really helps the channel grow, helps me reach new people. If you haven't subscribed already, feel free to subscribe. And honestly, guys, thank you. Sorry that I missed a week. I am not going to try to make that a habit. I'm going to try to continuously put this out week by week. And I really do appreciate all the support and all the love that I've gotten via Twitter and everywhere else. As always, as I mentioned in every video, if you want to reach out to me, my Twitter handle and my email are in the description below. Please feel free to shoot me an email or send me a Twitter message whenever if you have any questions or just want to talk. But as always, guys, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your evening. And y'all come back now, you hear?